So stupid and dislikable. Good combination.
Hi, this is Mash Rundown. If you've been enjoying our content, subscribe and hit the like button down below.
We're going to continue with our Throwback Thursday with our review for Saw 2. Saw 2 is a 2005 horror film directed by Darren, Lynn, Bousman and written by Leigh, Whannell and Bousman. It is the second installment in the Saw franchise and stars Donnie Wahlberg, Shawnee Smith and Tobin Bell.
Saw 2 basically follows the same plot as Saw 1, except this time it's focused on an officer named Eric and his desire to get his son out of Jigsaw's grips, because Jigsaw has trapped his son along with some other people that really do not like Officer Eric in a house, and obviously a lot of booby traps and dangerous puzzles that they need to solve in order to survive. As far as themes go, once again, I felt like this movie really focused much more on revenge than it did on the message that some people get out of this movie. Because at the end of the day, she was actually going after the cop because the cop had sent her to jail. And I still feel the same. I still feel like this pretty much cheapens the movie. It's not this elaborate thing to teach people how to live and appreciate life, but rather means for people to get back at someone just for doing their job.
The film also looks at bad habits and getting your comeuppance, basically, because all of them were very much criminals. There was a drug dealer, prostitute, if I'm not mistaken. They'd all been incarcerated. Even the cop, he's a dirty cop. He frames people. He's quick to violence. Interrogation is not by the books. So they get their just desserts, and if you're going to do bad things are going to happen to you.
I think Jigsaw in this movie very much relied on people's bad qualities.
Yeah.
And so as soon as their bad qualities came out, you can see that they were kind of doomed.
Yes. So the good. In general, the story was a lot better than the first one. It was better fleshed out as well. There was actually a bit of movement and plot to it. This helped the pacing a lot because it wasn't this tedious exposition all movie long. It was, okay, let's continue with the story. Let's actually watch a movie.
Yeah. I was also quite glad that it wasn't as gory as I thought it was going to be, because I know after the first Saw, they do progressively get more gory.
Yes.
But this one was gory in places, but not as bad. I had to look away when they were doing the needles and when she got her arm stuck in that Venus trap thing. Ugh.
But I think in general, the focus was still on story and psychological thriller as opposed to let's just gross people out.
Yeah.
I also really liked the twist at the end. The one twist, there's two. I didn't see it coming. So spoilers, the kid being in the safe, did not see that coming. The fact that it was a recorded video, didn't see that coming. That was very cool. Very well done. Actually clever. The twist that she was Jigsaw's apprentice, not so much. But in general, I actually enjoyed the end.
I definitely didn't think the fact that she was his apprentice was a twist at all, because that was quite obvious in the first movie. She constantly says that, you know, he helped me, he saved me. So you can already see that she's fangirling.
Totally. And she wasn't getting sick at all, where everybody else was getting sick.
Yeah. So that helped.
Yeah. And she knew way too much.
Yeah, she was definitely the driving force. So I know one of the complaints you had last time was, how does he know they're going to follow everything?
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, she was placed there to ensure that they follow more or less.
It was much better, actually.
Yeah. That takes us to the bad. And I think one of the worst things about this movie is that most of the characters were really dislikable. It wasn't like you were rooting for the cop or you were rooting for Jigsaw. And even the son, he's very lackluster. It almost like he didn't care that he was in danger most of the time, or was just in shock. I don't know. So you sat there watching the movie and kind of like, no, I don't know who I want to win. I definitely did, though, have a character I didn't want to win.
Yes.
So he was more dislikable than the others, but I wasn't that into the movie because of that.
And you need those characters you dislike. You need to have dislikable characters to build, I hope something bad happens to him. So you got those emotions. But you don't want to watch a whole movie where everybody's like, either I don't like them or I don't care.
Yeah.
And this movie was, I don't like them and I don't care.
There wasn't really any redeeming characters in the whole movie.
Even Donnie Wahlberg did a fine job, but I didn't like his character either. No. Another thing that really spoiled the movie a bit for me was every single person was an idiot. All of them. They approached every trap stupidly. They didn't work together. They didn't try and talk together. They did nothing productive. It was... They were idiots. Nothing for me why this is a bit more of a spoil is because I wanted to see more of Jigsaw's traps. He obviously had a room set out for every single person, and we got to see 2-3 rooms because they're idiots. So I didn't like that. I would have liked one person to be a little logical, a little bit creative in their thinking.
Yeah, just because they were gone to prison and did drugs or whatnot doesn't mean that they couldn't think and solve puzzles and stuff. Yeah. So I don't know why they felt like they needed to be so stupid, but...
So stupid and dislikable. Good combination. Overall, the pacing of the movie is better than the first. It lacks the originality of the first, obviously, because it's a sequel. But it's definitely close to the first movie. For me,
I think in some ways it was better. I think the first movie only wins because it was more original.
Yes.
Whereas this was something they'd already used before. In terms of ratings, I would give it a 7.
And I'm going to give it a 6.
So that gets a 6.5, which is, I think, the same score that we gave the first movie. I think the first movie just edges it, though.
Tiny bit.
Who would enjoy this movie? I think anyone who enjoys thrillers and horrors, and obviously people who are fans of the Saw franchise themselves.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments down below which one was your favorite trap.
Bye.
Later.